You didn't fail, you completed a lesson. The sacred art of completio. In a culture obsessed with endless growth, perpetual connection, and constant accumulation, we've lost the spiritual understanding of sacred endings. We've been conditioned to view completions as failures, closures as rejections, and endings as evidence of our inadequacy. But what if the relationship that ended wasn't a failure but a completed soul contract? What if that career path that closed wasn't a rejection but a graduation? What if the community that dissolved wasn't abandonment but the universe's way of anointing you for your next level of becoming? The hidden mechanics of divine completio. In spiritual terms, nothing truly valuable is ever lost, it simply transforms. When relationships, opportunities, or paths conclude, they're not disappearing but rather completing their energetic purpose in your journey. Consider these profound reframes. The relationship that failed. Surface perception, rejection, abandonment, evidence of unworthiness. Deeper reality, a soul contract fulfilled exactly as designed for mutual growth. That relationship wasn't meant to last forever, it was meant to deliver specific lessons, healing, or growth that could only come through that particular dynamic. Once delivered, its energetic purpose was complete. The opportunity that disappeared. Surface perception, bad luck, timing, or personal inadequacy. Deeper reality, divine protection from a path that would have diverted you from your highest alignment. That opportunity wasn't your final destination, it was a potential branch that, while perhaps glittering with promise, would have led you away from experiences essential to your soul's evolution. The community that rejected you. Surface perception, exclusion, isolation, proof of not belonging. Deeper reality, graduation from a container that could no longer support your expansio. That community wasn't your forever tribe, it was a temporary learning environment designed to develop specific aspects of yourself before releasing you into spaces better matched to your emerging gifts. Signs you've completed a lesson rather than failed. 1. The circular pattern. Before completion, you often notice repetitive scenarios with diminishing intensity, like the universe is offering final chances to integrate the lesson before concluding the chapter. 2. The intuitive peace beneath surface pi. Despite emotional distress about the ending, there's an underlying current of quiet knowing, a subtle sense that this completion, however painful, is somehow right. 3. The mysterious absence of options. Doors that previously remained open inexplicably close all at once, eliminating pathways to continue in the old pattern regardless of your efforts. 4. The strategic dismantling. The dissolution happens in an almost methodical way that, viewed objectively, appears designed to release you from that situation with minimal lasting entanglement. 5. The threshold synchronicities. As one experience completes, synchronistic encounters and opportunities begin appearing, perfectly timed to usher you into the next chapter. 6. The retroactive clarity. Looking back, you can identify precisely what that experience developed in you: capacities, wisdom, or healing that likely couldn't have emerged through more pleasant means. The 5 stages of sacred completio. 1. Divine disruptio. The initial shakeup that begins the completion process, often experienced as unexpected change, conflict, or loss that disrupts comfortable patterns. Recognition practice. When disruption arrives, pause and ask, what if this isn't random chaos but precisely orchestrated divine intervention? 2. Resistance and revelatio. The period of struggling against the ending while simultaneously receiving glimpses of why it might be necessary for your growth. Recognition practice. When caught in resistance, place one hand on your heart and ask, what truth about this completion am I not yet willing to see? 3. Surrender and release. The pivotal moment of accepting the completion and consciously releasing attachment to how you believe things should have unfolded. Recognition practice. Create a simple release ritual where you symbolically offer the completed experience back to the universe with gratitude for its purpose. 4. Integration and extractio. The quiet phase of digesting the experience's wisdom and extracting its gifts, ensuring nothing valuable is left behind as you prepare to move forward. Recognition practice. Journal about what this experience has developed in you that you'll carry forward into future chapters. 5. Consecration and calling. The final phase, where the energy previously tied up in the completed experience becomes fuel for your next level of becoming and calling. Recognition practice. Visualize the energy from the completed experience transforming into golden light that anoints you for your next chapter. How to honor what's complete without diminishing its value. 1. The gratitude reclamatio. Practice. Create a detailed inventory of every gift, even those disguised as hardship, that came through the completed experience. Affirmation. This completion has delivered exactly what my soul required for its evolution. 2. The energetic composting. Practice. Visualize the completed experience as organic material being composted into rich soil from which new growth will emerge. Affirmation. Nothing valuable is ever truly lost, it is merely transformed. 3. The timeline integratio. Practice. Rather than compartmentalizing the completed chapter as separate from your journey, visualize it as an essential, honored segment of your continuous path. Affirmation. This experience remains a sacred part of my story, even as I move beyond it. 4. The wisdom extractio. Practice. Identify the top 3 lessons or growth points from the completion that you'll consciously carry forward. Affirmation. I claim the wisdom of this experience while releasing attachment to its form. 5. The conscious consecratio. Practice. Create a simple ritual marking your recognition of this completion as graduation rather than failure. Affirmation. I honor this sacred completion and receive its anointing for my next chapter. The deeper wisdom of divine timing. What appears as painful ending often reveals itself, in time, as perfect timing. Consider how many times in your past a rejection led to an opportunity you couldn't have accessed otherwise. A relationships and created space for connections better aligned with your growth. A career setback redirected you toward work more fulfilling than you could have imagined. A community loss preceded finding your true belonging in unexpected places. These weren't coincidences, but evidence of an intelligent universe conspiring for your highest unfoldment. Recognizing when you're being anointed through closure. Anointing, the sacred act of being blessed and set apart for special purpose, often comes disguised as closure. You can recognize this divine preparation by 1. The simultaneous clearing. As certain doors close, you notice other aspects of your life simultaneously clearing: relationships, possessions, identities, or beliefs, creating space for something new. 2. The increased intuitive sensitivity. During periods of significant completion, your intuitive capacities often heighten, delivering guidance more clearly than before the closure began. 3. The paradoxical expansio. Despite external losses, you experience an internal sense of expansion, as if your spirit has more room to breathe even as external structures dissolve. 4. The unmistakable redirectio. New opportunities, connections, or insights begin appearing with remarkable timing, often taking you in directions you wouldn't have considered before. 5. The accelerated timeline. Events that might normally unfold over months or years compress into weeks or days, as if universal forces are expediting your transition. The ultimate truth about completio. In spiritual reality, there is no such thing as failure, only completed cycles of experience that have delivered exactly what was needed for your evolution. When you resist these completions, clinging to relationships, identities, or paths beyond their energetic purpose, you don't prevent loss, you merely postpone growth. The most profound spiritual maturity comes not from forcing continuations, but from recognizing completions and honoring them as the sacred transitions they truly are. Remember, not all soul contracts are designed to last a lifetime. Not all paths are meant to be followed to their end. Not all connections are intended to remain active across all seasons. Your willingness to honor sacred completions doesn't diminish what was, it honors what is becoming. Have you experienced what seemed like failure later reveal itself as perfect completion? Share your story in the comments. Your recognition might help others reframe their own journey.